Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening, Andrew. It's a snake.
It's a huge snake.
It's a small snake.
I'm going to eat it then.
Okay.
We got some jelly snakes.
Jelly snakes.
Hello, everyone. What are you covering
Because
them
they're not
for?
paying us to advertise. They pay us, they get this name on the
Oh, I see. We're getting mercenary. Aren't we?
Yes.
Welcome to our next. Oh, that goes long. Video about Doctor Who being on Twitch.
Yes.
But before we say anything about that, we should apologise for.
You should apologise.
I should apologise.
I wasn't here.
For getting Warren overexcited yesterday afternoon when we were on the sofa together and we said Avebury when we meant Oldbourne.
Oldbourne, yeah.
Or Oldbourne.
Oldbourne, yes.
Why on earth I said Avebury, I don't know, but he didn't pick me up on it.
No, he didn't.
So he's just as bad as me.
So you both got overexcited and forgot where it was made.
Yes.
Yes.
But what we've seen on Twitch is the Troughton era ending.
Yes, very quickly.
And the Pertwee era beginning.
Yes, and I managed to miss my favourite episodes of the Silurians.
Which are?
I mean, obviously I like all of the Silurians, but I particularly like the stuff with the virus, the plague stuff.
Right, well, we'll get on to that in a minute.
Yes. Jeffrey Palmer.
First of all, the Seeds of Death.
The Seeds of Death, yes.
Now, that's a story which came out. It was the only black and white VHS release.
And it was really expensive, wasn't it? Wasn't it something like 40 quid or something?
No, that Revenge of the Cybermen was expensive. Seeds of Death was quite expensive, but then it came out for £10, I think, or something like that.
That would really annoy you if you paid the other price for it and then it came out for 10 quid.
But it was a compilation.
Yes.
And they didn't use necessarily the best print. So episode 1 looked really fuzzy. And then suddenly you cut to episode 2 and it all looked a lot sharper.
Okay.
You don't get that problem on the DVD, of course.
No.
As they've gone for the best prints and clean them up. I remember Warren being very excited that you could read the name badges. Because he'd never been able to read the name badges before.
Osgood.
Well, whatever, yeah.
Well, they got excited about Osgood on Twitch.
Oh yes, Osgood turns up.
Osgood. That's all that went out for a bit.
But so many names that
get reused.
Yeah, because there are only so many names in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, jumping ahead, but his Image of the Fendal is Granny Tyler. Any relation to the to Rose Tyler? I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
There was a thing about that's more a new serious thing, but what always makes me laugh is Matthew Graham said that when he was looking for a surname for Sam in Life on Mars, he said to his kids, "What should I call him?" And they said Tyler, and he went, "Oh yeah, that's good. Where'd you get that from?" It's Rose's name in Doctor Who.
But you spotted Sonny Caldinez.
Sonny Caldinez, yeah. I've never really picked up on Sonny before, and we've met. Well, we've been in the same room as Sonny. I don't think we've ever actually had the pleasure of saying hello to him.
Didn't he do an auction and nobody was bidding, so we started bidding out of sympathy?
Yeah. Just after Michael Sheard chucked sausage rolls into the audience.
Oh, those awful month-old sausage rolls he found in a bag. Round the edges of the stage.
Lunch. Somebody's got back for their lunch later.
I found some sausage rolls. Here you are. I don't want I got a headache a couple of hours later, so I think they were evil sausage rolls.
But anyway, so Sonny Caldinez, he's one of the Ice Warriors, and all the other Ice Warriors, and then there's a thing in between him and the Ice Lord Slar. And he says, "Have you found the humans?" No, I'm not going to do the accent. I nearly tried to do the accent. But he says, and he's got a very particular accent. No, we did not find the humans yet. I'm like, oh, it's Sonny! Because Sonny's a lovely man. Yeah. If you ever get... I don't think he does many events anymore.
No.
But if you ever get the chance to hear him talk, he's very interesting. And ask him about Indiana Jones and what he's out on.
Oh, the snakes, the box of snakes.
The box of snakes, yes.
That's right.
Yes, he doesn't like snakes, and he's sitting on this box, and then somebody told him that's where they kept the snakes.
Oh, yes.
And he was like, okay.
Oh, bless.
I'm glad I didn't know that when I was sat on it.
But on to the War Games then.
Yes.
And wonderful story.
It's a brilliant story.
I'm so pleased that everybody sort of seemed to enjoy it, despite its length.
Yes.
But I think it's one of those rare
holds up really well.
Stories that actually does justify being that long.
It makes it more epic. I mean, it gives you the space to go to all the different time
zones. I said in the blog post that the trick with the War Games and the way it's structured is that every now and then you pull back and you get a bigger view of what's going on.
Yeah, every so often.
Yeah, so you start on, as I said, you start on a rubbish tip in Brighton, And by the end of it, you've sort of learnt the Doctor's origins and
met another member of his race,
and he's seen his planet.
Yeah. And just when you think it can't get any better, Philip Maddock turns up, and he's really sinister. Or Steve Jobs.
Evil
Steve Jobs, as he was referred to on Twitch. Oh, it's evil Steve Jobs.
But again, this is one of those seasons where Philip Maddock's only been in it a couple of stories ago.
Yeah, he's in it again.
And he comes in and plays a very different part. You know, very differently, but very well.
But you can always rely on Philip Maddock.
Then dear old James Bree as well.
Oh, yes.
I shall take you to the war, Lord.
Yeah, what is he doing?
He's doing a really weird performance, but I think it works. It's just so strange.
It does. And you get Bernard Dobchoff.
Who?
Bernard Dobchoff.
Is that how you say it?
I think so.
Doesn't he? Isn't he like? He goes to every play or something, isn't it? I think Tony says that, he sends greetings to every play.
Bless
He's
him.
a supporter of. That as the snake's got up my nose. You're all right. Don't laugh. There's nothing to laugh at.
Sorry, that was unexpected.
But yeah, I mean, the War Games. It's one of those stories where everything's fallen apart in the scripting stage.
Yeah. Basically, Derek Sherwin goes into Terrence Dix and goes, "We've lost the last 2 series of the season.
We need 10 episodes, and you're writing them.
You're writing it. We need it next week."
Yeah.
And he went,
okay.
Mac.
But so often in Doctor Who, a sort of panic situation.
That works it really well, yeah.
Like the episode 1 of The Mind Robber or City of Death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they just had to lock Douglas Adams in a room for that one.
With the typewriter and some whiskey.
And some whiskey and some coffee.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes things do get over sort of. There's too much time to do something sometimes.
And then you tweak it a little bit more and make it. Yeah.
I mean, you said about Douglas Adams that I think some of the best Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy stuff is
the ones where he's writing it
season 2 when he's writing it in one room and handing them the page into the next room to record.
Yeah.
And some of that is my favourite stuff, and it's just sheer desperation. Mm-hmm. But it's something magical happens sometimes. Yeah. It doesn't always work.
No.
But War Games. I mean, real proper epic end.
Yes.
To the show in the black and white era.
Mm-hmm.
Then on BBC One you get Star Trek.
Yeah.
Filling the gap.
Yes.
But it's still only 6 months before Doctor Who returns. Mm-hmm. These days the idea of 6 months between Doctor Who seasons seems incredibly short.
It does.
But at the time it was the biggest gap ever.
Yeah.
So if you were a fan then, the idea of waiting 6 whole months for the next episode.
It was devastating. Yeah.
But Spearhead. When did you first see Spearhead?
Spearhead from space.
Another snake.
Okay. Probably when the original VHS came out. So, because did that come out? Was that an episodic one or
the original VHS was a compilation?
It might be that one then.
Was
so long ago I can't remember.
It was the old big black box.
Yeah.
Later ones were a white box.
Yes, I definitely had the black box. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's.
But do you think it works better as a film cut or as 4 episodes? I don't know.
I'm not sure because the purist Doctor Who fan in me says that it should be episodic because that's how it was originally shown. But it probably does work as a film.
But it is quite fair. I mean, I know the Time Team said this. Not a lot happens in part 1, really.
No, it's all about introducing the characters.
I mean, you've got Mullins. Telford Thomas.
Starts off. I've never heard anybody change their accent in a sentence.
Hello, is that the Daily Chronicle? My name's Mullins.
He starts off quite posh, and by the end of the sentence, he's gone Welsh.
Yeah, hello. At the start, isn't it?
And there's that great shot because they repeat it, don't they? Later on in the story of Channing behind the glass.
We should talk about Channing. Really.
Oh, Channing! Yes, the lovely Hugh Burden, who is absolutely wonderful as Mr. J.G. Reader in the mind of Mr. J.G. Reader. If you want to see more Hugh Burden, that's the series.
Because again, seeing him in Spearhead, I didn't know him at all.
No.
But having seen the mind of Mr. J.G. Reader, I realised just what a very good actor he is.
Yeah. And it's sandwiched between the 2 series of Mr. Reader, isn't it?
Colin Baker turns up in one of those, looking very young.
Really young, yes.
And Colin was surprised to find out it was on DVD.
Yes, I don't know if he's still got it. Colin, buy it on DVD.
Yes, we did send him the link, and I don't know whether he ever bought it, but yeah, it's. I mean, Spearhead obviously gives us the Autons and that wonderful.
And the Nestines.
The Nestines.
Yes, and the thing that Russell T Davies copies for Rose, which is basically just a modern version of Spearhead from space.
Yeah.
With slightly better effects, because you actually get to see the glass break, whereas in Spearhead you just hear that typical breaking glass sound.
But of course, Spearhead was going to be recorded partially in the studio.
Yeah.
And you get this one of these strikes that you keep on getting in the late 60s, early 70s.
And it really works.
And shoving it all onto film.
It looks superb.
I mean, what was it? Derek Sherwood said we had mad ideas of making the rest of the season all on film, but I'm not quite sure where the money would have come from to do that. But yeah, on to Doctor Who and the Silurians, as it says,
which is an epic story, and it's got just about everybody in it who you'd want to be in it. It's got Fulton Mackay,
who gets
killed off far too soon.
And boo for Fulton Mackay getting killed
off in like episode 3.
End of part 3. Yeah.
And Peter Miles and his red beam.
And he's going to get his red beam out when he's not happy.
You have to watch the DVD to get that reference. And Paul Darrow, the inimitable Paul Darrow, underplaying it for once.
Yes, I mean he's all sort of thin and young, isn't he?
He is. He's very young. It must be one of his earlier parts. But if you've seen Paul Darrow in Who Done It, you'll know why we say he's underplaying it.
But as I've said on the podcast when we sort of talked about 70s Who, it's a story that makes really good use of its structure again. And that, again, you start to tell the story over a much wider canvas
you get
as
longer
it goes
to tell
along.
the story.
And yes, the plague scenes.
I love that. It's just, I mean, it's a sort of precursor to Survivors in some ways.
Yeah.
But it's just something about that. It's that scene of Jeffrey Palmer up against the railings, and then you get the scenes at, is it St Pancras?
I can't remember.
Or Paddington, whichever station it is. And they're shooting it in long shot, and it's real guerrilla filming, because they didn't actually tell anybody. Well, I don't know if they did, because you get the police car, so maybe they did.
Well, some of it's planned.
Some of it is and some of it isn't.
The background people don't necessarily know what's going on.
The bit with it's Trevor Ray, isn't it, as the guard, and he collapses, and this woman just gives him a look and steps over him.
I'm in a hurry.
Yeah. So it's super.
I have to laugh at John Pertwee's technique in the lab.
You wince every time. Every time.
John's got this row of sort of test tubes or something, and he's got some pipettes with a rubber bulb, and that's fine, because what you do is you suck it up, and then you dispense, and then you suck it up and dispense, and if you're going to a different test tube, you take the bulb off, and you change to a new glass pipette and put the bulb up, or indeed you use a new bulb necessarily. John Pertwee's technique is to suck it up, turn it upside down, put it in another one, squish it, put it up, and then go into another one. And turning it upside down means there's liquid in the bulb.
In the bulb,
And putting it in some other ones means you've cross-contaminated it. And I just go, no, that's not the way.
Yes.
But, let's briefly talk about Liz.
Yeah, she's a great companion. I was talking to somebody at work yesterday, because I said to him, one of my favourite John Pertwee's is coming up tomorrow, which is Inferno.
Oh, yes.
And he was saying about Liz and how much he liked Liz. And when he was a kid, he liked Liz, he didn't like Joe so much.
All right.
Because Joe was a bit of a klutz and a bit clumsy. As he got older, you got to appreciate Joe's qualities.
Yeah.
But I said to him, the reason they swapped from Liz to Joe is, well, A, because Caroline John was pregnant.
Yeah.
And B, because as great as Liz is, and she's great, I love Liz, but you've got two scientists talking to each other. At what point do you explain it to the audience? So therefore Liz always has to be a little bit more stupid.
I mean, let's think about the huge change there is between the War Games episode 10 and Spearhead from Space episode 1. And the show completely and utterly changes.
Yeah.
But you have to keep something of the old format.
Yes.
So to expect Doctor Who to break down all the barriers
Yeah.
for female companions
Yeah.
in like a couple of weeks
It's
is, I
not gonna
think,
happen.
asking a lot of the series.
You
isn't
really
it?
don't even get that. You get it a bit with Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah's very strong, and I know Liz Sladen always thought she never got to be
Sarah
as
in
strong
something like
after.
The Seeds of Doom.
Chloe. She's fabulous.
That's much
She's
stronger
just-
than earlier
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, and then obviously Leela's quite strong, but as Louise Jameson says, the way they make her strong is to strip her of all her clothes basically and just have her in a leotard. So she's a strong character,
Yeah.
but she has to lose all her clothes to be
Yeah.
a strong character.
Yeah, I mean, there's several things going on there,
Yes.
aren't there? Yeah.
There's not really until you get to Ace, really. That Ace is your precursor to modern day Who Girls.
But I mean, that's again, it's the environment in which the show is being made.
Yeah.
The show inevitably reflects what's
Going on at the
standard
time. Yeah.
for drama at that time.
And as
isn't it?
Terence Dix says, you need a girl to be tied to the railroad to be rescued by the Doctor. That's it. That's the companion's. That's what the companion does. The companion is there to say, "What is it, Doctor?" in 6 different ways.
But coming up tomorrow, we've
Yes.
got the Ambassadors of Death.
Yes, the
and
ambassadors.
of Death.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Crash Zoom.
Yes, and Inferno.
And you love Inferno.
I love Inferno.
But we'll talk about Inferno and the Ambassadors of Death next time.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.